What do you do when the person who writes the laws doesn't follow them? Well, you write the Magna Carta, I hear you cry. I'm getting to that. Let me start here first. So you see, in 1215, the king was above the law, and his moral compass didn't say that he had to follow them at all. So if you were an English nobleman, the king could come along and take your lands. He could marry your daughter off to a stranger, or he could throw you into a dungeon with no reason. And this is all to do with a war that he was currently losing. And frankly, it was because he was really shit at being king. So this is the story of the Magna Carta, and it sounds like a dusty old relic, but it's actually Latin for the Great Charter, and this isn't a gift that was given by the king. It was effectively a restraining order forced upon him. Now, you don't just walk up to the king and ask him to pinky promise to be really, really good. King John signed this because he was absolutely fucked. History has not been kind to King John. He earned the nickname Soft Sword, which, contrary to my own personal opinions, does not mean that he had a floppy cock. But it actually means that he wasn't much of a winner, and his list of failures is actually quite impressive. He was broke, and to pay for it, he was taxing his nobles and barons aggressively, like some sort of organised crime. He lost a lot of land, including Normandy, which he surrendered to the French. And to top it all off, he lost the crown jewels. He had them marched through a marsh, and he lost them. And by 1215, the nobles didn't just want their money back, they wanted a contract that ensured that the king would behave. They marched on London, they took the city, and they gave King John a choice. Sign the declaration, or they'll find a new king. They met in a marshy field called Runnymede, and I can only assume that this location was chosen to further prod the fact that he'd lost the crown jewels in a marsh and he was going to lose his freedom there too. And King John reluctantly pressed his seal to the parchment. I want to be super clear about this. This document was not about equality or democracy. The barons were very much in for themselves. But tucked inside these 63 clauses was a revolutionary seed. Specifically clause 39, which stated that no free man could be imprisoned or stripped of his rights without a just and fair trial by his peers. It took the power of life and death away from the king and handed it to the law. Now, the Magna Carta was a total failure to begin with. King John wrote to the Pope and asked him to annul it. And that's when England exploded into civil war. But the seal had been broken, and the idea that the king was now above the law was well and truly out of the bag, and the Magna Carta became the blueprint for the US Declaration of Independence and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So Magna Carta isn't just a piece of paper, it is the first time in history where power was put on a lead.